Live from across Canada, it's the 5th annual TFCC yearly review of motion pictures and science. And now, please welcome your hosts for this evening, Joseph Delavecchia, Jamie Curvello, and Noah Shepard.
Thank you. Wow. What a year it has been for the film industry. From powerful, gut-wrenching performances like The Whale to painful, eye-searing pain of Morbius. The only question left on everyone's mind is, why hasn't Tim Burton made a Batman movie yet?
Yeah, I think about that every day. This year, our hearts were also captured by the music that accompanied these performances. From the fun, upbeat, jazzy tones of Babylon to the strange A&P dance numbers and white noise. And the one song still on everyone's mind is, will Joe ever get good taste?
Joe, are these seriously the best jokes you could write?
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a miss there.
I was on a tight schedule.
A robot could write better. Oh my god, that's a terrible joke as well. Jesus, Joe.
No, Noah. I thought the same thing. And since AI
No,
had a really
I'm
big
not
year,
doing this.
I've decided the
Jesus
rest of this
Christ.
monologue will be defined by the humor of chatbot GPT
I can't.
I made learn about our podcast.
This is fucking copyright
bad.
infringement. I don't want to be a part of this.
No, it's not. It is not copyright infringement. It's open sourced AI.
I have a better idea. How about we just talk like robots instead, you know? Beep, 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 beep.
Beep, boop.
It's a terrible idea.
I think it's better than this.
I'm going to read my monologue now.
Jesus Christ.
You mean Chat GPT's monologue?
Yes, that it wrote from learning about our podcast. Let me read my monologue.
Okay.
Good evening and welcome to 21st Century Cinema Podcast. I'm Joseph Delavecchia and I have to say it's an honor to be here tonight. You know, some people say that being a podcast host is easy, but let me tell you it's not. It takes dedication, hard work, and a willingness to put up with Jamie and Noah's constant teasing about my opinions. But hey, I think my opinions are great, and that's what makes the show so entertaining, right? And speaking of complaints, for all of you out there listening, if you have any issues or just want to tell Noah how wrong he is, you can email him at
give my email to
shepherdnoah13@gmail.com.
fucking open source AI.
He loves hearing from you.
I don't trust robots.
But enough about I did not actually give the email. I filled in the email after the fact. Don't worry, the email wasn't given to open source AI.
Good.
But enough about Noah. Let's talk about the real stars of the show, the films I mean. Let's be real, without them we wouldn't have a podcast. So let's give a round of applause for all the films out there. And speaking of films, have you seen The Breakfast Club? I mean, it's a classic, but I have to say I just don't get it. I mean, who cares about a group of high school kids getting detention on a Saturday? But hey, that's just my forced opinion.
And that is your opinion.
I would like...
That is Joseph Delavecchia's opinion. Sign it, stamp it.
And with that, I'd like to remind everyone that the show wouldn't be complete without my great opinions. So thanks for listening.
Alright, I'm Jamie Curvello, misspelled my name, and I have to say, it's an honor to be here tonight. But before we start, let's be real, Joe. La La Land over Moonlight? Really? Maybe it's time for you to shut up and let the rest of us do the talking.
Ooh.
This robot's a genius, man.
I made an edgy monologue.
I'll wait for it.
I have to give a shout out to Noah. He's the real MVP of this show. So real. Always keeping us on track and making sure we stay on point. So thank you, Noah. Whoa.
You're welcome.
For being the best host a podcast could ask for. Does
Never
that diss
mind.
us, or is that just like...
I might be coming around on AI.
We've got another Let's Be Real Joe. But let's be real, Joe. You can't like every movie. And sometimes you just need to shut up and accept that. Not every movie is made for you. I mean, let's be honest. You probably wouldn't like The Breakfast Club either. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, if you want to see real movie critique, don't look to Joe for it. Did the AI actually write that? Because that's...
Yes.
This is better than anything you've written, man.
Guys, okay, fuck you, A. B, no, I did not write any of this. This is all AI. The only thing I added to this was Noah's email.
Alright,
Go ahead, Noah. Finish us off.
So, my morals are screaming here, but I'll participate in your little game. I'm Noah Shepard, and I have to say, it's been a real pleasure being here tonight, even though Joe's questionable movie opinions are always present. But let's be real, Joe. The Breakfast Club is overrated. Watchmen, not that great either, especially if it's the movie version. I added that part. It's time for you to open your eyes and see the real gems out there. Speaking of real gems, I have to say, Sometimes I wish we had a different Noah. Hey, no I don't. But I do like Noah Schaefer, who definitely has better taste in movies than Joe. While we're on the topic of Noah Schaefer, man, is he handsome. And while we're on the topic of gratitude, I have to say, I'm really grateful that I'm not the one running this podcast. If I were, Joe would have been fired a long time ago, and Jamie and I would be running the show like a well-oiled machine. Let's be real, Joe. Even your mom stopped supporting the Patreon. It's time for you to face the facts, buddy. You're not as popular as you think. And with that, I would like to say it's been quite the journey putting up with Joe's bullshit and constant rants. It's like listening to a broken record, but instead of music, it's just Joe's bad taste. But don't worry, folks. We'll be sure to provide earplugs for our next episode. For now, listen to the sweet sound of our theme. Roll the intro.
That's what happens when we let an AI write our show. Come on, that was fun.
How many creators did we rip off to make that?
We didn't rip off anyone. Why? This is going to be you for the rest of the episode now, huh? I guess I can scrap my idea for an AI episode that I thought would be fun.
Yeah, no, you can't. No way we're doing AI art. Looks like ass.
So
I didn't say art.
No, I know, but I'm heading it off on making sure I get in there before.
I don't use AI art. Don't worry. Good Lord, I had a bot learn about our podcast, and it wrote a monologue that roasted me as much as you two did.
That's true. No, I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, hi guys. Hey, been Joe. A hot minute. Welcome back.
How's it going?
Season 5, Noah. You weren't here with us in our first episode, but welcome.
Thank you.
5th season.
Did we get any questions?
We are.
Did we do our? Yeah. Wait, no. We already did the Q&A. I was part of it.
We did the Q&A in December. Yeah, we did those in December. This is January. Yeah, welcome.
Well, not January for long, considering we're filming this on January 31st, folks. We are recording and filming this on January 31st.
Okay, guys, I went back last week. Wait, I need to bring this up. Yeah. I went back last week, and I listened to Noah's first episode as an official co-host.
Yeah.
And in that, Noah makes a comment about not wanting to date the episodes. And what does Noah do every single episode now?
Date it.
He dates the fucking episode.
That's fantastic. I didn't realize that. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going through the archives
trying
to find some
I've evolved.
Some stuff, and yeah.
I have evolved as a host.
Yes, you have. Apparently, you're the best host a podcast could ask for.
Even the robots think so.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to be breaking down our yearly tradition of the Oscar nominations. Ooh. It's a bit wild this year, I won't lie, because not only are we breaking down nominations, but there's a controversy. And not just like us saying it's a controversy because someone got snubbed. There is a real, actual controversy this year.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, gotta love it. And it does not include Pia Zadora, sadly. I'm just gonna get that out of the gate right now, set expectations.
I can bring up the IMDb page if we need it. Just for future reference.
No, that's only for Golden Globe season. Nah. Now, people have to wait a whole other year now before they get to hear the IMDb page of Pia Zadora again.
Sorry, guys.
We got to set it to music, though, this year or something. We got
to up the game.
Noah, before we jump into the Oscars, you were not present in our season premiere.
I was not.
Where we put a topic off to the side to discuss with you.
Yes.
Because all three of us have different opinions here.
Yeah.
It's time for us to finally break down white noise.
Yes, I was talking to Jamie Rabanel about this, and we both are of the same opinion, which is, well, I'm a little bit higher on it than him, which was, it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't awful. You hated it.
I can't still find one good thing about this movie. I hate it.
You don't get it.
The worst movie of the year.
That's what I think it is.
Joe's mind isn't big enough to understand.
It's not. Joe's mind is
not
creative enough.
There's no big idea here, guys. You need to stop it whenever I don't like a movie saying I'm just too small-brained to get it.
Yeah,
okay?
no,
That's
but no. Most of the time we're joking about that. This one's actually the truth.
Please explain to me the point that I'm missing, or ask me questions to see if
No,
I'm
no.
actually
Well,
missing
you
it.
present your argument to me. I don't need to defend why I like it until you attack me with it.
My argument is that I don't find the performances to be good, even if you argue that they are being ironic and Adam Driver is doing his best with the material. I think that the script is just incoherent. It's not like it's meant to be funny, but it's not because it's incoherent.
But that's the
my
thing.
biggest
It's like one of those things where, you know, when you hear people, even Glass Onion point out, where you hear people use big words, but they don't actually mean what they're trying to say. Like they're getting it wrong. So what I interpreted the dialogue as is a parody and critique about academics and about like the superior thinking of academics, like thinking that they're above it because of that. And notice how specifically, like, you see it with the scenes at the lunch table and stuff, the way they go around talking, nobody is ever listening to the other person. And that's what I love about that style of dialogue. I love movies where none of the characters listen to each other. It's fantastic. It perfectly talks about it, perfectly shows exactly, like, immediately how self-centered a character is. Meyerowitz Stories was very similar by Noah Baumbach. That one was weirdly a little more grounded than this one. This was a little more stylized, but it's like a parody of academic speak is what I interpreted it as.
Okay, well that is fine if you really want to go with it. Fine, like,
Yeah.
but even when they're talking then and actually listening to each other, their dialogue doesn't flow. It's very abrupt and it's jarring.
Yes.
And some of the lines just make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
I referenced Don Cheadle's, does your wife know she has perfect hair?
And important hair is what you're thinking of. But
Important hair. Oh, that makes it even worse. Yes, thank you
That's
for reminding me.
That's exactly the thing. Because he's one of those academic characters in the movie. So he is not actually saying something. So the whole point of that conversation is that these two shallow people are just having this completely vapid discussion about another shallow person.
Joe discovers absurdism.
Joe just
but
discovered
it's not-
absurdism.
Yeah, it's absurd, but it's not
live and
entertaining.
real-
It's frustrating.
To you, and that's why it's not your thing. But it's my thing.
Okay, but here's my biggest problem with the movie, and I genuinely want to know how you justify this.
Yeah.
Is that my problem is that each act, so the movie is obviously separated into 3 acts because there's 3 title chapters at the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Yes.
Each act puts you in the middle of a story.
Yep.
Which, okay, fine. But there's no real beginning and there's no real end. It's just you're in the middle of a story that goes and goes and goes, and then suddenly it stops and we're in the middle of the next story. And it goes and goes and goes, and then we stop and we're in the middle of the next story, and it goes and it goes and it goes to this kind of sort of conclusion where a picture of Pope John Paul II is shaking JFK's hand in heaven.
It is.
Have you ever heard of an author by the name of Kurt Vonnegut, Joseph?
Possibly. Give me a book.
He talks, well, he wrote, like, Slaughterhouse-Five is probably his most notable one.
Okay.
But he talks a lot about, like, the shape of stories. That there's, like, the really typical one that most have, where it's, like, you know, you have a setup, and then there's, like, middle bit, and then there's, like, conflict rises, then it, like, gets resolved at the end. And how things that break that structure do so for a different purpose, and there's value in that. And it being almost like constant, something else. Constant, something else. Well, if you are only going to enjoy the, like, typical standard story shape, then don't stress about it. It's not for you. You don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, don't give me that. I love Memento, okay? Let's not go with
But
typical standard
this is
story
the thing.
shape.
Memento is still beginning, middle, end. It just runs backwards. So it's still linear. This story is not, although these are, like, taking place in chronological order, it's not necessarily a linear story. And I think the reason that it's sort of putting that together that way is, I think it goes, like, the whole thing about this movie is that it's about the futility of mortality and coming to terms that everyone dies no matter what you do. So I think that the way it's broken up is showing each act is showing the major incident in each one that is helping Adam Driver's character come to grips with the fact that he will die no matter what. So it's not necessarily saying that the reason it's broken up in this weird structure is it's not putting one that's more important than the other. It's all 3 of these contributing equally, rather than, you know, the journey starts, rising conflict, big. You have your big, like, climax and then it come back down. It's not that, because it's sort of like 3 independent climaxes.
There's no climax, though. Once again, we don't get anywhere.
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
there
you know,
is.
like the shape of the story.
That's frustrating.
This one is almost
frustrating.
There is a
line.
climax.
Like, it's not as jagged.
Yeah, there is a climax.
It's not as like building up to one concrete thing. It's like sustaining its momentum.
Build up one.
Anyways,
If I go though and I watch something, though, I want to at least feel like something. I don't feel anything from that, and I think, when I'm already frustrated from very frustrating dialogue, and there's not just something like on screen that's even entertaining anymore, it becomes a what's the point?
But that's why it's not for
this
you.
Is you though.
Yeah.
Like,
so
it's-
like if it's
It's
fair.
not meant
That's
to be
fair. It's not for me.
entertaining right off the bat.
The
It's more
argument
like,
is not
representing.
Is it for
something.
me? The argument is why I think this is a bad movie.
But your arguments that you're putting forward are why you didn't like it. You didn't find it entertaining. You were frustrated by the dialogue.
And Noah's arguments that he's putting forward is why he liked it. It works both ways.
no, I'm well,
he's explaining
part
the
of it.
merit behind it. Like, you're just,
Yes.
I didn't find it entertaining. Noah's trying to explain, well, it's because
I
it's
don't-
not for that reason.
Yeah, but I don't think that provides a movie merit. Okay, yes, I agree you should be trying something new. Yes, I agree, like, we should try and find new ways to tell stories in new, interesting ways. But when that way comes across pretty flat and doesn't really capture your audience or does a good job of conveying your overall story, then it becomes what was the actual point? We can't just applaud someone for
to me,
doing something
I don't
that
think
missed
it's
the mark.
Great movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a bad movie.
Exactly.
Like, I do think it also didn't do a great job captivating the audience, but I see what it was trying to do. I think Noah's with me there.
Exactly what Jamie's saying. Like, I don't think it's a fantastic movie or anything. I think it's just good. And most of the reason why I think it's so good is because it tries to shake all that stuff up. So, like, I think, like, I do think it falls flat in a lot of ways, and I don't think that is necessarily, I don't think that it necessarily does everything that it sets out to do. But I have to admire it for trying what it did, and for someone who's interested in linear storytelling, which is just a personal thing. I that's just where I am. I can get more value out of it, and I think that's why I like it more than you. But I think that it's just once again, I do think it falls flat in other ways, but that's probably why I'm not as critical, is because I like some of the risks it took more. But yeah, that's sort of my opinion on White Noise. So once again, I do think there's a lot of stuff that it could be doing better.
Can you at least, can
Yes.
someone genuinely explain to me what the point of that musical number is at the end? Because I still don't get it,
Absurdism.
and I'm
It's
still
absurd,
flabbergasted.
Joe.
No,
Exactly.
I want a genuine
Yes.
answer,
No,
not
Joe.
absurdism.
No,
Joe,
no.
that is the
not
answer,
a good
though.
answer.
It's
That
the
is the answer,
absurdism
though.
of mortality. It's the absurdism that anything you can do, doesn't matter, you will die at the end. So the fact that even the film structure collapses and it's this weird, representative, absurd dance is showing basically it's a parallel to the absurdism of life.
It's just showing the entire movie didn't make sense. Let's just add something else that makes it more absurd. That it's not necessarily all connected and as you would think of a typical story, because it's supposed to represent life and how it's these disjunct events that exist together, and it's just absurdism, and that's just putting it right in your face at the end. Because like you said, you were flabbergasted. You're like, what is this? What is this? This would not be here in any sort of traditional movie. So that's just them putting it right in your face. And it's also worth noting that this is an adaptation. This was a book first. So
Yeah, I read that.
hating on the story has
interesting.
already existed and has been praised for its absurdism. It's known for that. So you can't hate on the movie for the story structure, because they didn't do that really.
I can hate on the studio for making the movie.
You
if that's
can.
the actual
You
story
can.
structure of the book.
If you're not a fan, once again, you don't have to be a fan. I don't think anybody, especially where it is a different form of storytelling. But I'm hopefully that me and Jamie have communicated why we find there's merit in the movie.
No, I understand why you like it. I understand why. It's very much is not for me. I cannot fathom liking a movie like that, but I understand why you both like it, especially it is something that just being absurd and ridiculous up your alley. But I will still disagree. I think it's bad.
That's fair.
I don't think it does its job well. Even you pointing it out to me, while I may understand and see more what it's trying to do, I still think it doesn't do it well.
That's fair. Well, if you ever feel up to another rewatch, just keep that in mind. Maybe it'll speak to you more.
No, I'm gonna watch. If I'm gonna watch anything by Baumbach, I still need to watch Marriage Story.
Oh, you do. I will.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Francis Ha is personally my favorite of his. If you're willing to also give that one a try.
Is it better than White Noise?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, then I'll give it a try. Yeah.
You may still not like it because not much happens, but a lot happens. It's
no. I like movies where not something big needs to happen. I just need to have a story. A story needs to be told.
Yeah, you'll probably like that.
I need a story told.
You'll probably like
I feel like you really appreciate the standard structure, though.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the standard structure. I 100% do. But when it does get mixed around with, I also enjoy that as well. All I need though is when I go to a movie, I'm going there to see a story.
Sure.
I don't care if that's a happy story, a sad story, an absurd, wacky. I need to see a story, and a story has to resonate with me. And just when I watch White Noise, no story resonates with me whatsoever, and I watch this and I'm like, there isn't a story here.
Yeah, for me, I enjoy things that don't necessarily have stories. I read a lot of books that don't have concrete stories in it, and if they are typical standard stories, I usually don't bother reading that book.
Yeah, no, that's fair. There's someone who one of my teachers, one of my theater teachers, who was really big into they were like, yeah, linear stories just don't do it for me anymore. So yeah, so I get a bit of that from it. But yeah, I think this has been a healthy and leveled discussion we've all just had.
I think this is like the most intellectual film conversation we've ever had on this.
I think it's because we had so long to each prepare our arguments that we didn't feel the need. This was fantastic.
I think also because Joe kind of admitted okay, I see what you guys are saying, and we were like, okay, we see your opinion, Joe. But
what a healthy discussion, everyone. Shall we do Oscars and
right?
yell?
Everyone has turned off the podcast because you didn't make fun of me.
Yeah. Shall we yell at each other about the Oscars?
Yes. Well, we might be yelling more at the Academy. All right. Since season 1, our most popular episodes have always been our Oscar episode. People, for some reason, really like to listen to us complain.
And this year, we're bringing it back again for the 95th Annual Academy Awards. We'll be breaking down the biggest categories, talking about who we think deserves to win, and any snubs for each category.
We'll also talk about any controversy surrounding the category. I'm sure Joe will have a bunch of nominees that he claims don't belong here or didn't deserve it, and I'll probably pull a couple of obscure films out of my ass to throw in there of the probably normally animated. So, yeah.
Okay, there's an obscure animated film in the snubs category that I want to talk about that I'm genuinely curious if you've seen it or not.
I'm excited for it.
Because I saw the animation style, and I think I know what this movie is, but you'll know. You're our animated guy. Yeah. All right, let's jump in. We're going to start off strong, and we're going to go with actor in a leading role. Noah, would you like to give us your good old voice and give us the nominees?
Actor in a leading role. Austin Butler. Elvis. Colin Farrell. The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser, The Whale, Paul Mescal, After Sun, Bill Nighy, Living.
Okay. I'm going to start off with Austin Butler. While I did not like the movie Elvis, I think he played a good Elvis, and I think that he really nailed those mannerisms and really got into that character.
Yeah.
However, Brendan Fraser's performance in The Whale...
It's the Renaissance, baby.
It is so captivating. It is so powerful. Jamie and I went and saw The Whale together in the theater.
What a horrifying movie. Oh my God, did it destroy... Remember how when Marriage Story...
It destroys you, but in the best way.
Exactly. Remember how when Marriage Story came out, I said it was my favorite movie I'd never watch again? Mm-hmm. I've been getting the urge to watch Marriage Story again, so I probably will. The Whale I will never watch again because it was so painful and so perfectly, it was perfectly painful. This is nothing but praise for the movie.
That was a perfect movie.
It was fantastic. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It was... Yeah, every single actor on the screen does an amazing job with their performance. Everyone gets their character, and it all, like I said, there's a story there that not much happens. It's a very simple narrative, but it works so well because it's so well written, well acted, and there's so much dedication and love there to this project.
We're just in Best Actor right now, aren't we?
I know, we are just in Best Actor. But, okay, to Brendan Fraser, he, like, this character, like,
So
he's completely transformed. He does it so well. Like, that is a movie where, like, I was not pulled out for 1 second.
Yeah.
Captivated the entire time, completely by the performance, just, like, eyes glued to the screen. It was tremendous. Like, all I can say is just positive things. I can't critique it. I can't say, well, I can see him losing because of this. No. If he loses this Oscar, it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I can't see, I mean, like, I personally have a lot of love for Paul Mescal because, of course, Phoebe Bridgers, a fantastic musical artist, and they used to date, but everything seems fine with them. Anyway, Paul Mescal seems like a very lovely human. You don't get it. Paul Mescal seems like a very lovely human. However, I have not seen After Sun, and I've seen The Whale, and I can tell you that Brendan Fraser is fantastic in it. I've heard Colin Farrell's great in Banshees of Inisherin. My dad really likes that movie. He watched it not too long ago and has told me to watch it many times. And I said I will. I just haven't yet. So I've heard Colin Farrell's fantastic. And he's been great for a while now. He kind of got his duds out of the way early in his career and has just been a fantastic character actor recently. So I wouldn't hate to see it go to Colin Farrell, but I really want Brendan Fraser to win.
Yeah. Quick note about Colin Farrell, his note in the Batman when he first shows up as Penguin and Batman's about to punch him and he's like, "Easy there, sweetheart." Sometimes Katie will just be randomly walking around and just quote that line, and he's
fantastic in Batman as well.
Yeah, he is. Oh, he's so good.
Yeah,
and the makeup for that movie.
Yeah,
that movie should have been nominated for makeup.
Yeah,
and hairstyling,
no way.
Okay, fuck.
But yeah, The Whale.
No, it should have been.
The
Whale.
Fraser.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Snubs.
Now, Jamie. Yeah, no, wait. I want Jamie to voice her opinions because yeah, because you have actually seen Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I liked it a lot. Colin Farrell was really good in it. And I think if Brendan Fraser wasn't in this category, he would be my favorite and who I would expect to win. But yeah, The Whale, Brendan Fraser. I just have to second both of your opinions for what you said there instead of just repeating them back. That, yeah, incredible. I do want to say, like, Austin Butler, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't really agree with people like him being nominated, to be totally honest. Because he did a lot. There's a lot less for him to do in just becoming a good impressionist and learning the mannerisms of Elvis. And, like, I haven't actually seen the movie, but from what I've seen, outside of him really embodying Elvis, I don't think he did that good of a job. Like, I don't think he really brought more to the screen than just being Elvis, which, like, didn't really require any creativity or, like, I don't know, actor merits. Whereas, I mean, Brendan Fraser, like, that was all him. And Colin Farrell as well. Mm-hmm. And I did not see the other movies, so I can't really speak on them.
I think the main problem, honestly, and this is why I think there's a chance Austin Butler can win, is that the Academy, after a lot of controversy, has done their best to expand their circle and let a lot more people in and let a lot more people have the right to vote. Which is fine. But I think that's why we're getting so many more, like, movies that are, like, your bigger blockbusters, or just, you know, the thing that I don't want to see. How do I say this properly? Like, there's two types of movies that come out each year. There's the movies that, you know, most of the population goes to see, and then there's the movies that your cinephiles and your people who just really, really love movies and want to watch movies go to see. And usually the Oscar movies, because they're meant to be the best movies of the year, which we know they're not always, but, like, they're supposed to be the best movies of the year, and usually those films are less watched because they aren't something that's entertaining, or they're only half the time a true story. So most of the general public isn't interested because they are going to see something to turn their brains off to, which is fine. That's one of the best things about movies, is that you can turn your brain off and watch them. But that's also why I think we're getting so many of these other films. It's why I think Black Panther got a nomination. It's why I think Avatar has a nomination this year, as well as Top Gun Maverick. And it's why I think Austin Butler is nominated in this category, beloved in this category, and why he might possibly win this category. Because there are more general people, or people who just see those general movies, voting now. And because of that, these movies are getting more and more recognized. Now, should these films be recognized? Yes. Should the popular movie category still be a thing? Yes, and I will say it every Oscars episode we do, because the popular movie category was a great fucking idea, and I'm still mad that people got angry on Twitter about it, and it is no longer there, because now those same people are mad about these movies being nominated in these categories. So, you can't suck and blow, Twitter. You can't fucking suck and blow.
Relax, I don't think Twitter's listening, Joe.
I don't think Twitter's
They
listening.
never are, but they should be.
I've seen our
I agree
Patreon
with what you
numbers.
said, but I have like a better way to put it, I think. A friend once told me that like everyone is either an entertainer or an artist. And I think that extends to movies. That movies are either made to entertain or they're made to express something, like be a piece of art. So I think Elvis is a movie that was made to bring people to theaters or sell, I don't know if it was streamed or to be streamed. It was a movie that was made to make people watch it and enjoy it. It was not to express something. It wasn't to teach people or get an idea out of someone's head. Right? It was just telling Elvis's story as people know it. It didn't add anything to the world, and it didn't express anything grandiose or even new at all. So that's why I'm not a fan of Elvis or other biopics or movies like that. And that's why, like, I don't mean to hate on blockbusters or even movies that are seen as quote-unquote Oscar grabs. They're pretending to be like as if they're expressive artistic movies, but they're really made to bring people to the theaters and win an Oscar. Like, they're not made for the point of expressing something. They're made to entertain and with other people's reactions in mind, you know? So I feel like I can always suss out when movies are made with that intention, and I'm not a fan of it personally.
I think that's a really good insight. Everybody's either an artist or an entertainer. I'm reevaluating how I'm looking at things. That's really cool.
Word. One of my friends said to me, and I've been thinking of everything that way.
That's fantastic.
It's just like a lot of things feel ingenuine, but you don't know how to describe why you didn't like that music or that movie or that person. And it's like, well, it didn't feel genuine, but there's no difference between that and something that is genuine. But it's more about the purpose on why it was made, I guess.
And I guess that's kind of also like, as a viewer, people are there to either consume art or to be entertained.
Exactly.
Interesting. Oh, this is great. All right. what are the snubs?
Noah, let's move on to the next category. We don't have any snubs actually for this category.
Ooh, yeah, I can't think of anybody.
Whoa. What about Jared Leto in
Morbid.
Morbius?
It's Morbid time. Yeah, no, I would say Jared Leto, he's more of a supporting role. We'll get to him when we get there. Actress in a leading role. Cate Blanchett. I don't know how to say it. Is it Tar or is it? It's just Tar? Okay. Anna de Armas, blonde. Andrea Riseborough, To Leslie. Michelle Williams, The Fabelmans. Michelle Yeoh. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Okay, before we even dive into this category, I have to say, I'm so happy to see Michelle Williams doing things again, guys. Okay? She took that very long break after Heath Ledger died, and I'm very happy to see her doing more, because she is fantastic in The Fabelmans. Okay, that's just my first note.
One of my biggest regrets of the year is not getting out to Fabelmans when it was in theaters, and now it was there for so little of time, and I did not realize it was there.
Oh,
for
really?
So
We've had it for a bit.
It's still in theaters.
We didn't.
Here.
Oh no, we haven't had it for months. We had it for about a month.
You could fly here.
I could
come
fly
and see
here.
It.
I could do that.
You could come.
So I didn't get to
come
see The
and see it,
Fabelmans, which really hurts me because it might be my best of the year if I did. This definitely has a chance for it. I've heard that. I heard yeah. Anyway, this has been a pretty volatile category this year. There's been some anger. Oh.
Yes, there has been some anger, some controversy.
Yes.
Yeah, controversy. Noah, can you hear me? Are we synced up?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay, we're good. We're
cool.
good. Yeah, you froze.
Yeah,
I
saw it happen.
You froze
because you froze on my screen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
okay.
Look at this, guys.
Cool.
Don't you love our Tech Issues podcast listeners?
Stop adding in extra things I need to cut out, guys. It's supposed to be easy edits now. Remember that? Remember that deal? We're gonna make things easier to edit.
The video goes up anyway. You don't need to cut that out.
The video is still edited. It's all edited.
What? I don't watch the video version. I only listen to it.
Nobody watches the video version.
My
Why are
dad
we doing
does.
them still?
My dad really likes it.
Oh, thank you, George.
Yeah,
I love
George.
you. Look, he's watching the video right now.
Yeah, there you
love
go.
You,
do it for George.
Right there. Okay. I would do anything for George, which is why I'm meeting with him next Wednesday.
That's true. We are. All right.
Anyways, okay. Yeah, Michelle Williams, fantastic in The Fabelmans. Oh my gosh, she embodies this character who is just, like, so, honestly, a bit absurd at times, to go back to absurdism, a bit absurd at times, but she plays this character so well, of this mom who's just unfulfilled and, like, has, like, wants and needs that she feels like she can't have, and it's so well done. I love her performance. I love this movie. She's fantastic. But also, the other Michelle in this category is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Jamie and I talked about Everything Everywhere All at Once last episode, but just such a great movie that just really puts everything on its heads. And I really thought it was not going to get the recognition it deserved, and it mostly did at these Oscars, and I'm so happy about that.
That's a movie made by an artist.
Yes.
That's a movie made by an artist. It was, and
Acted
almost
by artists.
everyone went to go and see it because of how, like, big it got and how many people were talking about it. It was, like, one of the best films of the year, one of the best films of the last, like, decade, I'll even say. It's so well done. And Michelle Yeoh, everyone in that film, honestly, is just absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, I want to watch it again. I haven't watched it since it first came out, but I do want to watch it again. It's so good. So yeah, so those two, honestly, for me, it's honestly a close race. Well, I think Michelle Yeoh is going to take it, and it is very well deserved by her. I also just personally really enjoyed Michelle Williams' performance in Fabelman. So for me, it's that close neck and neck. And I haven't seen Tar, Blonde, or To Leslie. So I won't comment on those, but we will come back to Leslie after you guys go through.
I know there's a couple.
You guys go through your thoughts.
There's a couple of controversies. I don't know them in depth, so I don't want to talk about them. But I know there's also one about Blonde.
Yeah, there's a big controversy about Blonde.
Yeah, I don't know it, but I'm worried.
There was a lot about it. There was a lot about it, from like the nudity to the scenes to like people using that media online, like being unethical with it, and just also like the story itself, and I believe also the with that word where it means like how factual something is, truthful. I'm saying those words and they mean it, but I was thinking of a very specific legitimacy. That might be it. Validity? No, I can't. It'll come to me later on. Anyways, okay, how truthful the movie is, I think that might have also been a thing. That one I'm not 100% on, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, there were a lot of opinions going around from both the cast, crew, and the watcher. The
reason I bring it up is I'm worried it's gonna win, because Hollywood loves to do the good old. Aren't we great? Aren't we great? So. Aren't we great?
No.
I hope it doesn't, because I want Michelle Yeoh.
I don't think.
But yeah, no, I just echo what you say about Michelle Yeoh. I've heard a lot of good things about Cate Blanchett in Tar. So I think from everything I've heard,
you rarely hear bad things about Cate Blanchett.
Good point. From everything I hear, it's between her and Michelle Yeoh this year.
I would probably say the same. Those are also the only two movies I've seen on this list. But with Tar, it's like, I have a feeling Cate Blanchett might win. The movie is really just kind of like, look at what a good actor she is, or actress she is. Like, she's just kind of on screen the entire time, playing like a great character. To me personally, it's a little bit one note, dare I say. I don't think it's as complex as people give it the role credit for. It just kind of feels like a recreation or a caricature of a character type that's appeared in many other forms of media and movies and TV shows. She does a great job at it, but I don't think it's as good as people say it is. Listen, I did not finish that movie. I'll talk about it later when it comes up again, but I got an hour into that movie and I was like, this sucks, and I stopped watching it. Controversial. Anyways, I hope Michelle Yeoh wins big time. I think she deserves it the most. Like Noah said, that's a movie made by artists, acted by artists, and it's a captivating, entertaining performance. It's sincere, and it's unlike anything that we've seen before, and unlike anything that's been nominated before. So I think it deserves to win. She deserves to win big time.
So our snubs for this category lead into our controversy. So the two biggest snubs that are being talked about online by almost everyone for this category are Danielle Deadwyler in Till and Viola Davis in The Woman King. People believe that both of these women deserve to be nominated for the role, and there was also, of course, people calling out the fact that they're both women of color. Now, Michelle Yeoh is also nominated, someone who is a woman of color and ethnic, but Danielle Deadwyler and Viola Davis were not nominated, which is like the biggest snubs so far for this category. Now, do you two want to comment on either of those, or do you want me to keep going here?
I haven't
didn't
seen
see
either,
either.
so I can't speak on it.
Okay.
Really.
Okay. So, what got people very confused, though, now here's the controversy, was that Andrea Riseborough? Riseborough.
Probably-
Autocorrected it there, but not
Yeah,
there.
it might be
Riseborough.
Riseborough, or it might be Riseborough.
It's
I'm not
Riseborough.
sure exactly,
Yeah.
but-
The one up here at the top is from the Academy website, and the one at the bottom is me typing quickly.
Nice.
So it's Riseborough. Yeah. So To Leslie was a very, very small film that had a very small release, a very small runtime, made very little, next to no money, and very few people saw it. So people were very confused as to how this movie kind of came out of nowhere and got all these nominations. Now, the Academy has some very strict rules in place about when you're voting on shortlists, seeing the nominations and everything. And one of the rules is that when you submit your movie for consideration, or the actors, actresses, the cinematographers, etc., you cannot petition members of the Academy individually and incentivize or try to get them to watch your film and consider putting your name forward or your project forward. That is a rule that was violated in this sense for To Leslie. So because of this, the Academy announced last week that they were going to meet today to decide whether or not they needed to renounce back the nomination and decide what was going to happen there. And I have the Academy's response from just about an hour ago.
Whoa.
Would you like me to read it?
Yes.
Yeah, of
Let's
course.
Get into it.
Here is the statement from the Academy. It is said by the last name is Kramer, but I cannot on
Cosmo.
see who
Got it.
Kramer is. Yeah, Cosmo Kramer. No, sorry, it's the CEO Bill Kramer said in a statement. Here it is. Based on concerns that surfaced last week around the To Leslie Awards campaign, the Academy began a review into the film's campaigning tactics. The Academy has determined the activity in question does not rise to the level that the film's nomination should be rescinded. However, we did discover social media and outreach campaigning tactics that caused concern. These tactics are being addressed with the responsible parties directly. The purpose of the Academy's campaign regulations is to ensure a fair and ethical awards process. These are the core values of the Academy. Given this review, it is apparent that components of the regulations must be clarified to help create a better framework for respectful, inclusive, and unbiased campaigning. These changes will be made after this awards cycle and will be shared with our membership. The Academy strives to create an environment where votes are based solely on the artistic and technical merits of the eligible films and achievements. That was the Academy statement.
Okay.
And I think it's a load of crap.
I think
Because they obviously...
No,
No, go ahead.
I think what it is like there's nothing that specifically they can be like, oh, gotcha, and then not nominate them. Like they can't. There's nothing concrete they can use, so that if they, struck them from all their nominations, then it would be unfair to them, and they could be like, well, why? Why? There's nothing concrete that says this. So they're basically saying, okay, then we'll implement it next time to make it strict and more clear, so you can't argue with it. That I think they probably do want to strike them from the nominations just so everyone's happy,
Yeah.
but I don't think they can.
I'm curious, though, how do they not have something concrete? Because, if they found things, on social media, they did an audit and they found, some form of evidence or something that is quote-unquote concerning. The reports were that the film's stars, cast, crew, were all petitioning for the film. So all you need is just one person here actually petitioning it. That's your concrete proof right there. And all the, you just need a member of the Academy to come forward and be like, yeah, I got this message. So it's very interesting.
If I had to guess, I would say, then this is pure speculation, but it's something I've seen sort of through different organizations. I would be willing to bet is they have outdated bylaws that don't quite take into account the whole reach of social media at this time.
Yeah.
They probably have a basic social media policy, but I would say chances are is their bylaws just aren't strict enough, and so they don't. Nor with something like this, when it's a judicial thing, you need to have your ducks in a row, right? You need to be able to point and say, this is exactly what you did, and this is exactly where this violates this bylaw. So if not everything is concrete, if you don't have a concrete case, it's really difficult to move on it. So I would be willing to bet is that they have an outdated policy that doesn't quite take into account exactly what was done, so that way that reason they can't act on it, and whenever they have their, I don't know if they do an AGM, I would imagine they do, whenever they have whatever sort of meeting for the board of directors or whatever, that'll be voted on, and they will very quickly amend that bylaw. But at this point, they can't do it.
That's a pretty fair guess.
And you can't. From what I know, is you can't enforce bylaws, or at least many organizations, you can't enforce bylaws that were on something that happened previously. So like they could meet right now, put in a bylaw, but they wouldn't be able to use that.
It won't be till next awards cycle
or the next thing that applies to it. You can't, for the most part, you can't backtrack.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'd give you that. That's fair.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like, it's what they have. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, well that's practically the same thing, but because it's not exactly what it says, it's not, that concrete rule isn't there, they can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
No, would you like to take us to the next category?
All right. Actor in a supporting role. Brendan Gleeson, The Banshees of Inisherin. Brian Tyree Henry, Causeway. Judd Hirsch, The Fabelmans. I'm really embarrassed. I've never learned how to say Barry's last name.
Keoghan.
Oh, wow. It's just said phonetically?
I believe so.
Wow.
I thought it was Keegan.
Sure.
I think it's Keegan, isn't it?
Keegan? Yeah, that makes more sense to me.
I'm pretty sure it's
Barry
Keegan.
Barry Keegan, The Banshees of Inisherin, Ki Hugh Kwan. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
This is honestly a stacked category of talent.
I was about to say that.
Let's start off there. Yeah. This is a stacked category of talent. I think Judd Hirsch in The Fabelmans is fantastic. I think is it Ki Hui or Ki Hu?
I'm not sure exactly the pronunciation of it.
Okay.
I think it's Ki Hui.
Okay.
I think it's Ki Hui. Yeah.
Ki Hui Kwan? Okay. Yeah. Ki Hui, Ki Hu, Ki Hei. I'm sorry for your name butchering. I very much am. But for Everything Ever All at Once, like, absolutely.
He's fantastic.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Yeah, he's so good. Like,
just such an endearing performance.
And he's adorable in it as well. Like, he's so great. I love him.
Yeah.
Love him. So yeah, I think he deserves it. He made a big comeback this year, like Brandon Fraser did. I think he really, really does deserve this award. And from what I've seen, I believe he is the best performance here. However, we'll get to my snub, but I believe my snub should be the one winning this award. But we'll get there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Kwan should win it. I always have a soft spot for Brendan Gleeson. Specifically, because Brendan Gleeson came to Newfoundland for a movie called The Grand Seduction, which is a pretty simple comedy, but it's about this outport Newfoundland town that is trying to get a doctor to stay in the town, and so the entire town is like trying to pretend that they need the doctor more. He plays like I'm not sure if he's the mayor, or I think he's the mayor, and he's really great in it. And so, like, I have a little personal soft spot for him, but I think Kwan should win. Based on what I've seen. I haven't seen Banshees of Inisherin, so maybe I will be backing this up. But yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah, I think Kiwi Kwan should win big time as well for pretty much everything Joe said, but I watched the Banshees of Inisherin, and I loved it, and both Brendan Gleeson and Barry Keoghan are, like, crazy phenomenal in it. Like, actually insane. So, I'm honestly torn between the three of them. I didn't watch The Fabelmans, and I didn't watch Causeway, so I'm pretty torn. Barry Keoghan probably has the most developed or extreme character that would have been the hardest to portray convincingly, I guess. Just, like, more different from how he is in person compared to the other two. And Brendan Gleeson was just, like, I really can't say anything other than phenomenal. Like, just insane. I would highly recommend you guys watch this movie so you know what I'm talking about, because I don't know how to phrase it otherwise.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely going to give it a watch.
It's not something I'm going to forget. His specific performance is something I'll be thinking about. So.
My favorite thing about Banshees before seeing it is that it's a movie that has Mad-Eye Moody, the Penguin, and the Joker. It's great. Great cast there. But what this is my segue here, because I believe that the actor snubbed in this category is the actor who also played the Riddler in this year's Batman. I believe that Paul Dano deserved a nomination for his performance in The Fabelmans. He was fan-fucking-tastic. Oh my gosh, like close to Brendan Fraser levels for me. Not quite there, but he really got into his role. He was absolutely great in it. It was very emotional, and like even like when you see like the good moments he has with his son, the more rocky moments where they don't really agree and they don't see eye to eye, like it's so well done, and it really resonates with you. It really, really does. And I just think he's a fantastic actor through and through. And so I was very upset to see that he did not get a nomination, because he absolutely deserves it. He would probably be my pick if he was nominated to win. But sadly, Paul Dano was not nominated.
Next category.
If nobody else has any snubs, Noah, you can continue.
Not that I can think of. Always when we do these, I'm like, oh, damn it, that person in that movie I watched fucking 8 months ago. But yeah. All right. Actress in a supporting role. Angela Bassett, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Hong Chow, The Whale. Hong Chow, The Whale. Carrie Condon, The Banshees of Inisherin. Jamie Lee Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Stephanie Sue, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Once again, a loaded category of talent.
Yeah.
Like I said, like as much as like there are like your snubs this year and the things you might not agree with, I think the Oscars, this is probably like one of the best years in recent history where they kind of got things right. Like it's
definitely
pretty
close.
Stacked.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot to like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Angela Bassett, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was a movie that I'm not crazy on whatsoever, but she is great in it. Like I will give her credit. Do I think this is the performance that she should win an Oscar for? No. But she is absolutely great in it. She's the best part of the movie, and she is completely captivating. And, like, even though this is a superhero film, you can tell she is giving it her all, and I really appreciate that. Hong Chow in The Whale was, once again, completely embodied her role. She was perfect in it. She was a really great friend, but also foil to Brendan Fraser's character, I felt. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, like, brilliant performance. And she also brought a little bit of comedy to the movie, too, which you always appreciate the character that brings that little bit of comedy. So, yeah, really, really enjoyed her. Also would be okay if she won. And then Jamie Lee Curtis and Stephanie Sue both, like, knock it out. Like, everyone in Everything Everywhere All at Once, once again, like The Whale, just does an amazing job. Like, I don't watch that movie and say, oh, you know, this performance wasn't great, or, like, usually you can say that in a movie. You can't about these two movies. Mm-hmm. And Everything Everywhere All at Once is so good. Both these women deserve to be nominated in this category. And I'd say, I haven't seen Banshees, but Jamie can probably, I would assume, back me up, and me just making a blind shot in the dark here. I think every single one of these women deserves to win and deserves the nomination, and I'm not going to complain if any of them win. Who am I going to pick personally? You know what, I can't even pick right now. Probably Stephanie Sue or Jamie Lee Curtis. One of the two. I'd have to go back and forth. Probably Stephanie Sue over Jamie Lee Curtis, but I really personally enjoy Jamie Lee Curtis and Everything Everywhere All at Once. But yeah, like, just fan-fucking-tastic category.
Okay. To me, I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis should win. I don't think that was a complex role or if it was showing as much merit as the other roles on the list. Not to say like she didn't do the best job possible with what she was given, but it was like, you know, that was the comedic relief character, to be honest. Like that.
Yeah, no,
that was
I
what it was,
feel you there.
No, I think
there wasn't as much room for her to do as much as the other actresses did. Like, I think no one else could have done a better job than she did. But I think with the roles considered, now I did not see Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but I do love Angela Bassett.
You didn't miss anything.
But okay, I think I would really like to see. Sorry, Stephanie. How do I pronounce her last name? Sue. I would really like to see Stephanie Sue win. Carrie Condon was amazing, but I'm really going for Stephanie Sue. Or Hong Chow from The Whale. That was also quite amazing for the same reasons Joe said.
Hong Chow was really, really good.
Yeah.
I have to go with Stephanie Sue. My Broadway heart is, of course, Stephanie Sue was in two musicals that kind of split opinions, but they're dumb and fun, so I don't mind them as much. Be More Chill. She played Christine Caligula, and the role and another stupid musical that I can't help but love, the SpongeBob musical. She played Karen.
The SpongeBob musical.
She played Karen.
She's Karen?
She is
I
Karen.
thought they just got the voice actress.
No,
that's
Stephanie Sue.
Dead on. Really?
Yes, and
oh my
but
gosh.
even in saying that, not just because I enjoy her from her theatrical pursuits, she's just fantastic in that movie. And Jamie, I do agree with you. Like, I just don't think there was that much for Jamie Lee Curtis to do outside of it. I was actually kind of surprised to see her nominated and everything.
Me too.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis, don't get me wrong, but Stephanie Sue just, I think, was head and shoulders. That role had so much more. I don't, I think, like you said, Jamie Lee Curtis did the best she could with that role, but I just think that there was head and shoulders above with Stephanie Sue, just a much more integral role to that movie. And I haven't seen anything other than The Whale else on this list, but yeah, Stephanie Sue is who I think should win it, who I think will win it, and who I want to win it.
I've really come around hearing you guys talk about it. I really agree with you guys about Jamie Lee Curtis the more I think about it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
Love her, but yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
But, so, my snub for this category, I would take Jamie Lee Curtis out to put her in. It's Keke Palmer for Nope. I thought Nope was great. I really enjoyed Jordan Peele's latest outing. But I absolutely, loved Kiki's performance. I thought she was really, really great. She brought a fun energy to the role. She was she was the positive character. Her brother was kind of more of the negative in this story, but Nope was just really, really well done and a lot of fun to watch, and I thought she was absolutely fantastic in it, and so I would put her in this category for sure. She's definitely my snub, but at the same time, I still think all five of these actresses are amazingly talented, and so maybe I do agree with you guys more and more that Jamie Lee Curtis shouldn't win. So besides her, if any of the other ones win, which I think it'll either be Angela or Stephanie, I think that's a deserved win.
Yeah.
Noah, next category.
Animated feature film. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Sea Beast, and Turning Red. I can start this one off because this is...
Actually, wait, I'm going to start because I have the quickest thing to say,
okay? Yeah, go for it.
I didn't see any of these films. I have no opinion, but fuck Marcel the Shell with Shoes On just because of the conversation Noah and I had back in the Summer Blockbuster episode.
Wait,
go ahead.
You didn't even see Turning Red?
No, I saw no animated films this year. It's the first time ever. I always see the animated films.
So
I have no opinion this year.
Weird.
I will say this is definitely the year that I've seen the least out of what's nominated. I think this is the only year. I have seen one movie on this list.
What?
It was Turning Red. I know. It was. I just was watching other shit. I still haven't seen Pinocchio. Because
You're supposed to be our animated guy.
I've been waiting to watch it with the person I watch all the animated movies.
Wait, you're supposed to watch all the animated films and
then
come here with the most controversial hot take, like Mitchell's versus the Machines last year, you dumb fuck.
Mitchell's vs. Machines was a fantastic movie.
Stop it, Noah. No one believes you because nobody still has watched the film.
Go watch it.
Actually, since I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, it's great.
Good Lord, Jamie, come on.
Great movie. I was too busy watching Klaus for like the 8th time. I love
so
that
good.
movie.
And that movie was raw.
And I watched a lot of Coraline this year, like multiple times. But Pinocchio, I mean, from everything I've heard, it could definitely win. I think it's a great, like, I love that we're getting these weird, I love that in the same year that Disney put up the most bullshit, bare bones, just stupid version of Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's like, I'm just going to make it weird and fucked up and make it out of puppets. And how can you not love it? Because it's Guillermo del Toro. And he was saying in a lot of the press for this movie that he's going to be focusing a lot more on animation and trying to legitimize the medium, even though it should already be legitimized. There's so many good animated films. But if you have a name saying that, driving it forward, 100% love it. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, really wanted to see it, didn't get around to it. I've heard it's great. I heard great things about it. I just love A24 movies. But anyway, this one, my roommate has been going on and on about it. He loves it. Puss in Boots apparently was a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
and
all I've heard.
Yeah.
This is, well, Joe, you've heard me talk about Jared before. This is Jared's pick for this year, and when it comes to animated films, I definitely trust his opinion, so I will be putting that one forward as the winner. Sea Beast, never even heard of it.
No one did.
Never heard of it. And Turning Red was a great movie. Very much enjoyed it. Fuck Disney. I don't want them to win anymore.
Okay.
That's fair. Sorry, I also just wanted to jump in there and say that I have seen like the trailers and everything for Puss in Boots, and the animation style is gorgeous. Like, great. I'm so happy to see like more like different and I don't want to say edgy, but you know, like animation styles that are pushing the envelope and that you would not expect, and you're like, oh, it's like that, but then you see it's breathtaking. Yeah. It's great. And I reference Spider-Verse because Spider-Verse was a big
one last thing I'll say is I am disappointed to see that no anime films made the list again. Now, I don't think there was anything big that came out this year, but it's year after year that we're just like that they're consistently getting snubbed when your name should have fucking won. But anyway, year after year we're getting a lot of snubs. And that's the case with international films anyway. Like, there is so much that we don't get, that we don't give awards to, even though it's supposed to be this international film body. But anyway, that's a long conversation that's happened many times over. But yeah, especially in animated films, I am disappointed to see that. Joe, Jamie, you said you saw Puss in Boots, right?
I've seen all of these movies. That's why I'm baffled you guys haven't seen any. So I'm waiting to
take it away
talk
then.
my bit
Take
about
it
them.
away.
Yeah. Okay, so actually I have not watched Marcel the Shell with Shoes On because I watched like 5 minutes, first 5 to 10 minutes, and I was like, I'm over this. I was like, okay, I don't know if they should have turned this into a full movie. I get it. So I'm just going to start at the top of the list with Pinocchio. Oh my god, I love Pinocchio. I've seen that movie 3 times already. It's so cute. It's touching, it's so beautiful, but it's so adorable. And also the casting is like insanely stacked. Like, there's like a monkey in it, and, you know, the monkey just makes sounds like weep, whip, dip, dip, dip. It's Kate Blanchett plays the monkey that makes the silly sounds. Actually? Yeah, and I guess it was just because she wanted to work. Like I said, you rarely hear bad things about Kate Blanchett. So she had just asked, like, what roles do you have left? And he's like, oh, only a monkey. And she's like, I'll do it. So she did the monkey.
Love it.
But there's also, like, Tilda Swinton, David Bradley, Finn Wolfhard, Ewan McGregor, Ron Perlman, and others I want to say I'm forgetting. Christoph Waltz. It's just, like, insanely stacked. But that's, like, besides the point. I didn't even notice any of this until after. Like, normally when you're watching a movie, an animated movie, and if there's someone famous voicing a character, it's, like, the first thing you notice. But
like, who is that?
Yeah, I was too taken. Like, I was too focused on the movie. It's so good. It's definitely my favorite to win. I, like, love it. It's so awesome. And yeah, I watched The Sea Beast. It's pretty good, but it's not great. I don't really have any other comments to say because I was just like, oh yeah, that was fun. Done. It was like fun, and it just kind of like, I know it's a kids movie, but there was a lot of kids comedy in there that I was just like, yeah, this is like annoying. This isn't funny. And when it comes to Puss in Boots, yeah, the animation, amazing. It's like the animation that's normally in those type of movies, but taken further, and they didn't incorporate a lot of elements that you see in Spider-Verse, so it's interesting you brought that up, like motion lines, like as if it was a drawn picture and not an animation. So it was beautiful, and it tackled some more serious themes, but I have the same complaint that there was a lot of jokes in there that were for kids, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is like a kids movie, fun. But I'm like, oh, it's just annoying, these reusable jokes. I think if I was a kid, I probably wouldn't find it funny. I didn't hear kids laughing in the audience. But there were some jokes in there that were funny. Like, they had a lot of characters swear for whatever reason, quite often. Like, it would just bleep. They just bleep a bunch of characters, and I'm like, actually, that's hilarious. That's really funny. I respect them for doing this. But then, like, 10 seconds later, they'd have a joke that not even a 9-year-old would find funny. And they kept reusing that joke. I'm like, oh, I can't decide if this is the hilarious or the most unfunny thing I've seen in my entire life. But besides the humor, it was like, it was touching and sweet and something for everyone to enjoy. And I really like Turning Red as well. I really like the story and messages and animation and woo, Toronto and everything. But it wasn't anything like special or new. Whereas Pinocchio and even Puss in Boots, I was like, oh yeah, this is something special. Like, I haven't seen a movie like this ever. Like, it was something new, especially Pinocchio. But I remember when I got out of Puss in Boots in the theater, I was like thinking about just how far animation has come in the past few years and how excited I am to see where it goes. Just that all of these movies are animated quite differently and amazingly. That a few years ago, you wouldn't go to the theater and be like, oh, this animation's so shit. But now it's like, it's so much better now. It's insane that it could get better, and exciting that it will get better and more creative, and I like that they're different styles. Anyways, yeah, that's my piece on those movies.
The snub that most people online are talking about. Okay, Noah, I'm glad you have opinions about this.
I saw this one.
Is Wendell and Wild from Key and Peele.
No, from the guy who made Coraline with Key and Peele.
Okay, but I knew it as
his name is
yeah.
I
haven't
They're
seen
in it.
these.
Yeah, exactly. That's his name.
Go ahead, Noah. Tell us about Wendell and Wild.
I liked it. I will say up front, I liked it. I genuinely had a good time watching it. I might go back and rewatch it. I don't know. Messy movie. There's a lot going on, and a lot of it. There's a couple inconsistencies with the. Did you see it, Joe and Ava or Jamie? Did you see it?
I did not actually, but I've seen a lot about it online.
Joe, did you see it?
No.
So there's
like
this
I said,
thing
I
about
haven't seen anything
for anyone who's seen it, the thing about the hair cream was really inconsistent. I don't quite know all of its powers. There was a lot going on with it. Yeah, there was just like a lot of subplots as well that just kind of didn't really add up. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure exactly if all of it was needed. Overall, still a good movie. The animation was interesting. Not quite as, or like the claymation. Not quite as good as Coraline, in my opinion. It was a lot more stylized, rather than, well, I don't know if it's a lot more stylized. It's a different style. I'm not quite as big on that style that it was, but still good. Still look good. Yeah, I don't think it got snubbed. I think I didn't, from everything I've heard out of the ones that are on there, for the most part, they deserve to be on there. I'm not sure about the Sea Beast. Haven't heard much about it. But there's nothing I would take off that list to put Wendell and Wild on. It was just okay. It was better than okay. It was good, but I'm not that big on it.
Okay. Next category. We're halfway through, guys. We've done the first five more to go.
Oh my god.
We're an hour and 11 minutes in.
All right,
We've
we might
said
need
a lot
to.
of things already, though.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah, we have.
We might need to.
It's going to be easier to get through.
Yeah.
All right, Noah, go.
Cinematography. All Quiet on the Western Front. Bardo, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths. Elvis, Empire of Light, and Tar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cinematography-wise, I have only seen Elvis. I don't think there's a big deal with that cinematography. What the fuck?
I have
Why is this
seen
nominated?
one movie on this list. And if it won, I'd be happy. I saw All Quiet on the Western Front. Looked great. Just brutal movie. And it's a brutal book. And every adaptation of it is brutal. Because that's the subject matter. Is the horrors of war. And the real horrors of war. Fantastic. I really enjoyed the movie. I know our good friend Jamie Rabanel has it as like the least deserving Best Picture nominee. I disagree with that. I thought it was good, but it is a bit more of one of those military spectacle movies. You know how people say there's no such thing as an anti-war movie? This is an anti-war movie. This is absolutely an anti-war movie. Yeah, it looked great. It did. The set design was really good, and I know that's blending the line of cinematography a bit. But yeah, no, if this won for cinematography, I'd be fine with it. That's the only one I've seen.
Jamie?
Yeah. So I've seen All Quiet on the Western Front and Tar. Tar, like I said, I did not finish that movie. I rented it on YouTube or whatever. I currently have it open in a browser, and I keep watching. I'm like, I'm not captivated, like, at all. And I think the cinematography, that speaks to the quality of the cinematography, that it's nothing special. It doesn't really have to display much, except for just, like, power dynamics and whatnot. And sure, it does that great, but it's not captivating or groundbreaking. Whereas, like, All Quiet on the Western Front, it was captivating. Like, it did really well. Like Noah said, it's like a devastating movie. Like, it's just, I feel like it does a good job at really displaying the emotions on screen. Well, you know, what all of the movies probably do. But I liked it a lot, and I noticed the shots. Like, you know how sometimes you're watching movies and you're like, oh man, that's a good shot. Wow, that seems so this, like, wow, this is, wow. Like, that, like, I actually had those moments watching this movie, whereas Tar, I didn't notice at any time, you know, so. Of the two I've seen, I would say All Quiet on the Western Front is more deserving and more likely to win, but that's all I can say, I guess.
Snubs.
Yes.
People online were saying that Avatar and Banshees was snubbed.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either. I still refuse to see Avatar.
Sure.
But I'm going to talk about the movie that was actually snubbed. The motherfucking Batman.
Yeah.
Had amazing shots. Used
Yeah.
light and composition
It was
perfectly.
way better than,
And-
like, that part of it was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, the cinematography is out of this world, that movie, and it lends itself to the narrative so well.
Completely agree, yeah.
How is that movie not even nominated?
I'll agree with
Yeah,
that. I'm
no,
not
100%.
fuck the
Academy. Cinematography in the Batman was next tier. It was amazing. Like Noah said, had no right being
Yeah,
nominated.
no, like,
No
the Batman is more than just another superhero movie, but as a superhero movie, there was no reason it needed to look that good, which is why I'm excited for all this fun DC stuff announced today, January 31st.
Oh my god. They announced the release date for the Batman Part 2 today, too.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, when is it? I didn't see
October
that part
3rd,
of it.
2025.
Ooh, fun. Jamie, what do you think about the snubs?
Snubs, Batman, like I said, yeah, I agree. I was not huge on that movie. Like, I liked it, but it's not as big to me as it seems to be to everyone else. But I agree with the cinematography being amazing. Avatar, I mean, yeah, cinematography was good, but I don't, respectfully, I just don't really care. Like, I'm not, like, mad it wasn't
Fuck
nominated.
Avatar.
And I see how these other movies bested it. Banshees had good cinematography, but not, like, the best of the best. It's pretty good, though. I would put it on top of Tar, to be honest, in my opinion. But that might just be because I'm a hater and I like things that are fun and captivating and creative. while still serving a purpose, not just serving their purpose without doing anything else. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Directing? Shall we move on?
Before we get to directing, I need to have the floor for just one moment, Noah, because the snubs are leaving out one thing that needs to be said.
Everything Everywhere All at Once? Fuck Avatar.
Fuck Avatar.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that. Directing.
Well, I think one second. Back in cinematography, like Everything Everywhere All at Once. Why that?
Yeah.
The friggin' shot, the rabbit
Why
shots.
is Everything Everywhere All at Once not nominated for makeup and hairstyling?
Why is it not nominated for every single category there is?
Why isn't it sweeping every award?
It can't be nominated for adapted screenplay,
including Best Original Song.
Best Original Animated Short.
Yep.
It deserves it.
Yes, let's move on to directing. All right.
Honestly, for the whole end montage of the different universes, animated short, I'd give it
Absolutely.
that. For it. Yeah.
Directing: The Banshees of Inisherin, Martin McDonough. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. Daniel Scheinert. Fablemans, Steven Spielberg. Tar, Todd Field. Triangle of Sadness, Ruben Östlund.
I loved Everything Everywhere All at Once. I thought it was amazing. And Jamie Rabanel has been harassing me for 3 weeks now to watch Triangle of Sadness. Yeah. So I need to watch Triangle of Sadness.
There you go.
Yeah. But what I will say, however, is that I think the best directed film that I saw was The Fablemans, guys. And I know some people might think it's cliche to be like, oh, Spielberg. Nah, Spielberg killed it. This is his best movie since like the fucking 90s. Probably even more than that. Everybody knows I have the mixed opinion on Spielberg, where I don't think Spielberg has put out a good movie in decades. And some people argue West Side Story, and to those people I say, go fuck yourself.
Don't say that to Jamie Rabanel.
But no, I've told him. I'm like, fuck West Side Story. But I know I love The Fablemans. I love the directing, and like Steven Spielberg's like a rule for his directing, and just like, you know, his inspiration for being a director and his style, like is it's all referenced at the end. Like it all kind of comes together perfectly. So yeah, no, Steven Spielberg all the way. The Fablemans.
I haven't seen it, but sure. I mean, it's Spielberg. He's Spielberg. But I will go with Everything Everywhere All at Once because that was fantastic. And as we just previously covered, it deserves to win everything. Everything. Full sweep, baby. Full sweep.
Everything Everywhere All at Once needs to win Everything Everywhere.
Exactly.
So
exactly. I'm sure that joke has not been done at all. I think we invented it here. But yes. Yeah. No, I just wanted to sweep. And like this isn't just like blatant fanboyism. I believe it was incredibly like masterfully directed.
Yeah. I agree, and it's also definitely my favorite to win. I will give Tar this one. I could see it winning Best Director, and that could be deserved because it comes together really, really well as a movie. Everything is very, works well together, very harmonious, and it does what it sets out to do very well on every front, and it's just directed really well. It's just like, I didn't like it as a movie, but I could see it winning Best Director, and I would say it's deserved. Same with The Banshees of Inisherin, except I love that movie, to be honest. And it was also directed just, like, phenomenally well. Everything is just, just comes together perfectly. And, yeah. So, I have not seen the other ones, so I can't say anything about those. But so far, the 3 movies I've seen, I've said about all of them. They did a great job. They should win. So, I'll be happy with whoever wins. And, I mean, with Steven Spielberg, it's like, he's known as a good director for a reason. Like, his name's so well known for a reason. So people who hate on him just because he's overdone are lame. I did not see this movie, but I'll value Joe's opinion and say it probably is as good as he says it is.
You didn't go and see Fablemans? I thought you were going to go see it.
I went to see it on Sunday, but I was too sleepy. It was at noon or something we were going to see it, and I was like, oh, I'm too sleepy. So, if I went, I would have just fallen asleep in the theater.
No, you wouldn't have. It's that good. It's so good.
I was really sleepy.
Snubs.
Snubs. The women of motherfucking Hollywood were snubbed, guys. There are no female directors nominated.
Yeah.
And while I have not seen it yet, because it has not come to a theater near me at this point, but will be very, very soon, Sarah Polley for Women Talking is apparently phenomenal and out of this world, and really,
I'm
really deserves
really
the nomination.
surprised that's the one that I was going to bring up as a snub. I don't understand why that's not there over... Let me pick one off the list and make people angry. Yes.
Women in Hollywood,
women can't...
They don't get nominated.
That's right.
Things.
That's right. Joe, I forgot about woman. I forgot about woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dare I say, women in general are snubbed in life in general. Hashtag facts.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Not gonna hear any pushback here.
No, it's very, very true.
This is a feminist podcast.
We're in that fun part of our show now,
That's
where if you're watching the video portion of the podcast, there's a really important message on the screen right now. So please feel free to take note of the very important message.
It's
pretty hard to read on screen. Ooh, that's some glare. That's my fucking email, isn't it? Stop sharing my email.
So if you're on the video version of the podcast, there's your bonus for watching. We appreciate it. Next category,
Music,
Noah.
original score. All Quiet on the Western Front. Volker Bertelmann. Babylon, Justin Hurwitz. The Banshees of Inisherin, Carter Burwell. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Sun Lux. And The Fabelmans, John Williams.
I have seen 3 out of 5 of these movies. I'm going to be real with you guys. The score didn't really resonate with me. The one I remember the best is Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's the one I will pick. But we all know how I felt about Babylon. Fuck Babylon. Was not big on it. Did not enjoy it. And I don't think... While Justin Hurwitz is very, very talented, he did another jazz score for Damien Chazelle that, honestly, I noticed a lot of similarities to La La Land with. And you know that's a real thing because of how much I love La La Land and how many times I've seen it. So, yeah, not giving him anything there. Fabelman's, like I said, was really, really good. And John Williams, we all know he's amazing, but I couldn't tell you one thing about the score to Fabelman's at all.
John Williams.
And I was captivated by it. Yeah.
It's been
but
pretty...
Everything Everywhere All at Once is my pick.
Yeah, I'll pick it as well, but it's a pretty unremarkable year for scores.
I disagree.
Ooh, all right.
This is why you're a music person.
This is your department, so
All Quiet on the Western Front deserves to win by a long shot.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, you said you watched the movie, right? Like immediately in the first 20 minutes or whatever.
I don't remember a lot about it, but
it's really kind of somber, dissonant in the background. Then all of a sudden,
there's
like
that noise,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
It's really like
never mind. That should win it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really
it's so
it's
jarring.
An upsetting score. It's jarring.
Oh my
upsetting.
God! It's so uncomfortable. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah.
So to be able to do that with music is incredible. Like I remember I was watching it, I just heard those like jarring, blaring, and I'm just unnerved, uncomfortable, and it goes along with the movie so well. It's unconventional, which is hard to do with the score because it does take you out of the movie for a second, where you're now focused on the sound.
But
and
I think
the
that
movie in
works.
general has
It's
great
one of the
sound
rare
design.
times. That's one of the rare times where taking you out of the movie works for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's almost giving you that to focus on, so then you can be horrified by the next thing they're throwing at you. So it kind of shifts your attention, so then they can surprise you with some ungodly horror of war.
And it's just such an it's an upsetting thing to hear. Like it's just an upsetting
really
3 notes. And just how it's like, how it's scattered about in the score, which itself is, like I said, kind of ambient and dissonant. I don't know. I think it's a really good score all around. And like you were saying with the other ones, like, they're good, but not memorable.
They're good.
Not memorable.
They're just like standard
good. They do a good
right?
job to complement the movie and meld in. I did like all the scores from the other 2 movies I saw in this category. But yeah, All Quiet on the Western Front better win. If not, I will be slightly disappointed.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. Just because we're not covering it here, best original song, Natu, please, please, let's kick colonialism in the dick just one more time, and I hope that wins.
People are upset that Taylor Swift isn't nominated for best
Taylor Swift
song.
go
I don't
fuck
know
herself.
why. I don't know what she did. but okay.
She made a short film about her own music, using her own music, I believe. I think she made I think she made a long music video.
Gotcha. She thinks we're just giving anyone an Oscar. And I mean, sometimes we are, but not this time.
Not to, please. Please.
My snub, very quickly, is the movie that score did resonate with me and still does till now, is Nope. It was so good, and like a really good use of like those. The way I describe it is, and I'm probably describing this very, very wrong, and I'm sure Jamie can tell me the proper way to describe it, but kind of like those like very bassy like techno sounds for like for like sci-fi things. Mm-hmm. There's a very, very deep use of that in Nope, for the space shuttle.
Are you looking for the word
loved
synth?
it. Loved it.
Synthesizer sounds.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh, next category.
Are we calling it writing or are we calling it original screenplay? Right.
It's the Academy listed on his website as writing brackets original screenplay. I have always known it as best original screenplay.
Yeah, they must have changed it. All right. Writing original screenplay. The Banshees of Inisherin, written by Martin McDonagh. Everything Everywhere All at Once, written by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. Oh, God damn it. The Fablemans, written by Steven Spielberg and Tony Kushner. Tar, written by Todd Field. Triangle of Sadness, written by Ruben Ostlund.
Okay, I'm going with Everything Everywhere All at Once. And going with this for the very particular reason that it takes a creative and like genius fucking mind to write a movie like that and make it work, make it entertaining, and make it like absurd but not ridiculous, if you know what I mean. Like
it's still accessible. It's also still accessible. It's high concept but accessible, which is a rare blend.
There's so many fucking great dildo jokes in that movie. Like this movie makes dildo jokes work.
There's a lot of great dildo jokes.
Fucking hell. Yeah, like great job to this movie. This movie is absolutely fantastic, and yeah, for what it accomplished and what it did for just people going to movies as the pandemic died down, and just what it's done in general for like cinema, and kind of like the expectation now that like something like this can be nominated for an Oscar.
It gives me faith.
It deserves it.
It gives me faith.
Yeah,
all of us art house kids.
Everything All at Once needs to clean house.
I think if there's any category though. I love Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's my pick to win. I want it to win. But from everything I've heard, if there's any category that the Banshees of Inisherin's going to take it over, it's in the writing.
Yeah. That's, I was
Jamie,
going to say.
You can take it away.
It's okay. Were you done, or?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm done. That's all I had to add.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, the Banshees, it's a great movie. And it's not as high concept, so it's almost hard to make the writing as, then the writing's even more important, because, I mean, it's just like, there's like two buildings in the whole movie. It's on some small Irish island, and it's just these two guys beefing. Like, that's what it is. It's just these two friends, like, beefing. But it's a great movie, and the writing is so, like, you really feel all of the characters, but it's so, like, satirical at the same time, and it's like, I don't know, it's everything. It's done really, really well, the writing, whereas like Everything Everywhere All at Once has everything else going for it. The writing is pretty good also, but it's not as in the forefront, I would say, or it didn't need to be as inventive or incredible. Like, it had everything else to hold it up. It didn't need to be groundbreaking and all this stuff, but Banshees, it didn't necessarily need it, but it did have it, and the writing's really great. And I didn't hate Tar. I keep like saying bad things about it. I didn't hate it, but I don't think it should have been nominated here. Because wait, I might have to Google it real quick. It's based on a real story kind of, but they like exaggerated it and made it they like changed the name of, it's based on like a real composer. I wasn't able to find her name with a quick Google search, but it's based on a real composer who had a similar kind of story, and they basically just took that story, made it more extreme, and put her as a character in a really bad light. So it's not it's not from a true story, but it's heavily inspired by one, and it doesn't do anything insane to that true story. Whereas, like, if you look at like Game of Thrones, it's heavily inspired by history, but the writing is still phenomenal because it still does so much with it. Whereas the writing, I don't think added much to the story that already existed in real life. Like, it just kind of took elements that anyone could extrapolate from what is known about the situation. So I don't really think it should be nominated. Not to hate on it again, but it is what it is. I just hope it doesn't win. I'll be shaking my head if that happens.
Noah, would you like to bring us into the final category?
Wait. We have some snubs for writing. I noticed there. We just have the menu and Nope. I don't know if anybody wants to speak on those. I thought actually we haven't talked about the menu yet, so maybe. What a fun movie! Just a fun movie.
Go ahead.
Just a fun movie. Nothing earth-shattering. I thought the structure was really cool. I liked that it was done. Like, I thought that was, like, it's really obvious and in your face, but, like, it was fun. It was just a fun movie. Wasn't anything deeper. I think the little deeper bit of it is the analysis of, you know, how we treat the service industry. So I thought that was cool. But for the most part, just a fun thriller.
I love Ralph Fiennes, and I think New Mutants aside, Anya Taylor-Joy is a good up-and-coming actress. So yeah.
I could be wrong, but I did love Ralph Fiennes, and I think he's a bit of a turf, but I could be wrong. I could have him mixed up with someone else. So
yeah, no. I think he said something that, like, wasn't great, you know? I don't think it was like, oh my god, this guy's a terrible person, but I think he said something that was like, your age is showing.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like that.
He's still a good actor.
Oh my god,
I'll still give him credit.
Still good actor. Absolutely.
And he was great in the film.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, anything about Nope or
not see either of these movies, so unfortunately I have no comments.
Yeah, the Whale should be nominated.
That's fair.
Be a thing.
All right. Bring it home.
Go ahead, Noah.
Best Picture: All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, Women Talking.
Alright, I've talked about pretty much all these films, so I'll cover the things that I haven't yet. Haven't seen Women Talking, very excited to see it, and happy Sarah Polley got at least a Best Picture nom, even though she deserves directing for just all her other stuff in general. Top Gun Maverick, fuck Tom Cruise, hate that guy, won't see it. Kind of crazy that this is in here, but whatever, like I said before, popular shit. My pick is Everything Everywhere All at Once. That one deserves to win, and it better win because I think it'll set a new precedent that needs to be set for the Academy. My biggest snub is The Whale. I believe it should be in this category, and it should be nominated. Some people online were saying Nope. I don't really 100% agree with that in the lineup. However, I would take Nope out for Elvis any day of the fucking week because I don't think Elvis should be there. And a lot of people online were saying Decision to Leave is snubbed, and I did not see Decision to Leave, so I have no comment.
I guess I will also quickly run down through all these. All Quiet on the Western Front, really enjoyed it. I will say my pick is Everything Everywhere All at Once for pretty much the exact reasons you said, Joe. And also underrated how fun that movie is, because it is really fun. It's not just like this big artsy show. I mean, a lot of it is, but it's also a lot of fun. That should win. But All Quiet on the Western Front, really liked it. Maybe in a down year, I'd cheer for it to win Best Picture, but I think what I've already praised about it is what it deserves to win. Avatar: Way of the Water, didn't see it. My brother really enjoyed it. I heard it was a little white saviour-y,
like
which
I'm not. Saviour-y.
Yeah, which rubs me the wrong way. So I'm probably not going to see it. Banshees of Inisherin is probably that's going to be the next one of these I watch, because I've heard enough great things about it here tonight and just in general. Elvis, really baffling this movie got there. I've heard for the most part it's bad. Like, not even that it's not, like, I haven't heard great things about it. But Baz Luhrmann can bring anything to Best Picture, let's be honest. Everything Everywhere All at Once, already talked about, love it. Fabelmans, as soon as I have the chance to see it, I will. I wouldn't be super upset at that one, but I'm just so sick of Hollywood doing the good old back pat. I'm tired of it. I know Fabelmans is a lot more than that, and I don't mean to reduce it to that, but I think in this year, Everything Everywhere All at Once is strong enough that we don't need to do that.
Yep.
Tar, I'm probably not going to watch it based on what you've said, Jamie.
Mid.
Yeah, mid. Top Gun Maverick, no, I'm good. Miles Teller looks very handsome in it, but other than that, I'm good. Triangle of Sadness, I haven't heard of it. I don't even know what it's about.
Which celebrities do you not have a man crush on? Just a quick question.
Well, it's mostly the beefcakes that I love. And Women Talking, definitely want to see it. Hasn't come here yet either, so as soon as that comes out, I'll probably watch that one as well. Yeah, Jamie.
Okay, I'll run through them similar fashion. All Quiet on the Western Front, I really liked. I don't think it's gonna win, and I don't really want it to win. It was good. It was an upsetting movie. That was it. It was nothing like, oh man, this is my best movie I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like it. It didn't do that. Avatar: The Way of Water. I was like, wow, this is insane CGI. Look at those whales. Look at these blue people. It really didn't offer anything besides that. So also pass. Banshees, I loved. Honestly, for me, it's almost on par with Everything Everywhere All at Once for my favorite movie of the year. But I think it has a strong chance of winning, actually, but I don't think it's going to. Elvis, scratch it off the list. I don't want it on here. Everything Everywhere All at Once, I concur with everything you guys have said about it and what has been said earlier in the podcast. So it's probably my favorite to win, and I really can see it winning. So I hope it does. That's what I'm gunning for. Fabelmans, I did not see, but I won't be surprised if it wins. Tar, it's a really great character piece, but to me, it doesn't do anything else. So I hope it doesn't win, but I could see it winning. Same thing with Top Gun Maverick. Like, I don't care to see it. I don't like Top Gun. Get out of here. I didn't see Triangle of Sadness, and I didn't see Women Talking, but I've heard really good things about it. So that's my rundown.
And just quickly, Joe, I do think The Whale should probably get on. Get Elvis off. At least the other ones were like popular and big enough that I can justify them being like the spectacle movie. But yeah, put The Whale on.
Are you back now?
Yeah, sorry. I'll repeat it here. I think The Whale should be on there. I agree with you. Get Elvis off the list. The rest of them, like, I can at least understand the blockbusters, like, why they're on there. Elvis was, like, kind of a blockbuster, but also it's just kind of weird. It's in this weird... It's like the token biopic that we have to have every year on there. So yeah, we can toss that off. At least I can understand that Avatar and Top Gun were a big enough deal to make it on there. Yeah, put The Whale on.
Hey guys, for the first time ever, it is a unanimous decision between us who should win Best Picture.
No way.
Hell yeah.
That's what Everything Everywhere All at Once has done.
Maybe I should change my
podcast
answer.
Closer together.
Brought us together. Oh.
And guys, we've gone an episode without you guys actually like being mean or making fun of my opinions as well.
I heard something that I didn't like. I wasn't sure. At one point, Jamie said, "I'll trust Joe's opinion on this."
Yeah.
The real reason
Are
that
we
I'm
growing?
doing that,
Guys,
though,
we've grown.
is because Katie had the same opinion as you, though.
Well, there you go. Okay, that makes
You
so much
just provided
more
more
sense.
insight into it. Like Katie said, it's a great movie, and I should see it because Paul Dano, whatever, is amazing in it.
He's so
When you
good.
elaborated on that, I'm like, I'll trust Joe's opinion on this. I didn't feel like adding
There
a
you
little
go.
because Katie agrees.
Because Katie says so. Yeah.
But also the way you were talking about it were points that I could respect and get behind. And the robot was quite mean too at the beginning.
Yeah, the robot kind of did all the work. Are we that predictable? I think that's kind of what it came down to. I never want to be predictable. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it got a lot of our jokes pretty easily. I was talking to a friend of Jamie's who tried to listen to our last episode of the podcast, and their reaction was, I felt like there was a lot of inside jokes I'm missing out on. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're jumping in season 5. You gotta go back to the beginning.
Don't go back to the beginning. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, don't go back to the beginning.
You're not even a part of the beginning. Why do you care so much about the beginning?
You go back to when I came in.
I'll go back to episode 11.
Yeah, damn right.
Season 1, episode 11.
Yeah. You only have 33. You only have 4 times. that
Actually, there's
episode.
more. There's over 50 episodes. Just the main episodes are numbered. The bonus episodes are not.
That's true.
And some of the QAs are not.
And a bunch of them are lost to time. You'll
No,
never
not
hear.
a bunch of them.
You will
Actually,
never
about
hear
300
our
of them are
opinions on the
lost to time.
Snyderverse. 300.
Guys, we have not
We do
done-
these daily.
They were our 300 best episodes.
They were.
They would have changed.
They
our
were.
lives
And Joe
You guys
didn't
remember
want
that-
you to hear them.
Do you guys... Do you guys remember that one where Jason Momoa came on and just talked to Noah about how much he loved his hair for an hour and a
was-
half?
oh
That one
my
I'm so
God.
sad we lost.
Yeah, I know. That
Yeah.
was pretty wild.
Noah's now like wishing that actually happened. Look at him. He's mad that I even like insinuated it.
Oh, you know who I don't have a man crush on? You asked this.
Oh, God.
You know who's a beloved celebrity I don't give 2 fucks about?
Vin Diesel?
He's not beloved. Well, kind of, but Vin's a big enough nerd that I can respect it. I don't give a shit about Paul Rudd. What has he done? What has Paul Rudd done?
I like
I think
Paul Rudd.
What has he done? Joe, what has he done?
I just think he's fun.
I think the reason people like Paul Rudd,
Don't call me a mom. Please don't
It's
call me
because
a
he's,
mom.
like-
Please don't call me a mom.
he's just like a nice, cute man. Like he just seems
maybe.
friendly. He just seems friendly. And
Sure.
I think
he
that's why people like him.
is.
He's just got a nice
He's just
smile.
great.
That he just seems friendly,
Yeah, that might
harmless,
be it.
nice.
He's just
man.
there to have fun. That's it. Guy's just trying to enjoy life. He didn't hurt anyone.
No,
I understand if you maybe not think he's attractive. That's fine.
I just don't
but,
care about him. I don't care about Paul Rudd.
But you care about Jason Momoa.
Paul
Yeah,
Rudd
he's
is
so
listening to this
fucking
episode
handsome.
right now, Noah. He's gonna start crying. Better take
So
it back.
handsome. Also, like, he's a good actor.
So, anyways, guys, we've grown
We've grown
together.
We've evolved.
It's been amazing. We've entered our 5th year, and so I think we're ready to really show our love. So that's why our next episode is going to be a Valentine's Day rom-com episode.
Woo! I have a pick for my favorite one.
Yep, I am making you both
Well,
watch 27 Dresses.
I don't know if I can participate in this
great.
episode because I don't know if I've seen a single rom-com ever.
Can I
Which is why I'm going to make you watch it.
can I throw one in, Joe, to be consumed?
Yeah, no, everyone's allowed to throw some in.
The F
do you
word. It has a different North American
heard
name.
that was-
It's with Daniel
Yeah.
Radcliffe. It's really good.
Yes,
It's
I know what you're
really
talking
good.
about. Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really good. Question: is this only movies that are actually rom-coms, or are these movies that were marketed as rom-coms?
What are you about? Are you talking about Deadpool?
No, I'm talking about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which was
Oh, I
marketed
do
as a
love
rom-com when it came out, which is fucking wild because that movie is devastating.
That's such a prank to pull. It's like a hilarious.
It's
prank.
such a prank. It's like, hey guys, come
We're
see
not
this
gonna
fun
watch
Jim
this.
Carrey rom-com, and it's just a deconstruction of the human nature and what matters in intimacy. And it will just ruin you. Great movie.
I'm going for a lighthearted, fun episode where we're going to argue about rom-coms
Okay.
that mean nothing. We're
Well,
not
you-
going to do
you
Eternal
give me the
Sunshine
watch
of the
list.
Spotless Mind. Include it for your horror episode this October, Noah.
It's not a horror.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you give me. No, it's Schaefer's October episode this year.
It is.
It
this
is,
year.
yeah.
Yes,
So
we gave it to
you
Schaefer
gotta.
this year.
But yeah, rom-coms. That should be fun. My girlfriend will enjoy watching those with me.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I'll be giving you guys a list, and we'll be doing rom-coms next month, guys. It's going to be so much fun. Can't wait for you guys to judge me on my rom-com opinions.
Do you like rom-coms, Joe?
I'm very hit or miss on them, you know?
Same.
It's gotta... Yeah, I might throw a few bad ones in there, too. I haven't decided
I might
yet,
throw a
but,
Christmas one in for you too. There was one that I really enjoyed.
Love Actually?
No, the one with Kristen Stewart. There was a couple things that didn't quite age.
Oh,
like,
is that the one
okay.
that Dan Levy's in on
Yeah.
Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
I actually wanted to watch that.
I thought
That
it was
looked
pretty
fun.
good.
Actually,
I thought it was pretty good.
I might
You
have
know,
some that I want you guys to watch. They are comedies and they
Yeah.
are romance. I don't think
Okay,
they're traditional
everybody
rom-coms, but-
picks two. You mark the one that everyone has to watch, and then if there's time for you, watch the second one.
Sounds
okay, but
good.
everyone has to at least watch the top three. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. And we got to have those picks in by the end of the week so everyone has enough time.
Perfect.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Cool. Okay, awesome. All right. Thank you guys for listening to 21st Century Cinema, the podcast about film and the film industry. We're all happy to be back. We've got lots of fun things planned for this year. As we mentioned, Noah Schaefer's going to come on in October. It seems like it's a whiles away, guys, but it's already the end of January, and I could have sworn I just edited the season finale.
My God.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. We've got that going on. Of course, at the end of March, we will break down the actual Oscars as they happen. And I'm just wondering if anyone's going to hit anyone this year. I want to really be on top of that. So if anyone has the scoop in advance, please
What are we?
know. I'm talking about the hit from last year.
It was a publicity stunt.
It really wasn't.
It was fake.
It wasn't.
It was scripted.
Okay. It wasn't.
It was
He
scripted,
hit
I
him with a
was there.
prop hand. He hit him with a prop hand.
He has a lifetime ban from the Academy.
It was a rubber hand, and it was a Chris Rock stunt double.
Thank you guys for listening to 21st Century Cinema. If you want to follow us, you can find us on Instagram at 21st Century Cinema. We're on Twitter at TFCC Podcast, and you can use both of those names to find us on Facebook. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/TFCC, which Noah painfully pointed out with the help of an AI at the beginning of the episode has less subscribers than it used to. But if you don't want to do a monthly commitment, you can also order some of our merch. Shut Up Joe is still our best-selling merch, over 100 units sold. God, that hurts to say out loud on my own show, but yes, people absolutely love it. And also, if you want to check out our new merch, that's right, we dropped a new logo. We've refreshed the logo and refreshed the brand for our 5th year. Noah Schaefer did that art for us. We appreciate it immensely. And so we've got some art of the new logo on a bunch of our merch now. So please go and check it out, and we'll have more new merch to bring out this year. I do plan to bring out that Knuckles the Enchilada eventually, and if you notice the editing, it's probably bad. Yeah. And maybe we'll put some of those chatbot GPT quotes around. You know, you really want to wear something that insults me more.
I'll just write a really mean insult instead.
Yeah, we can. I'm sure we can come out. Me and Jamie will brainstorm.
I'm gonna have to write something AI again just to piss Noah off, but it's gonna be unexpected.
As long as you don't use AI art, I can deal with some open source stuff.
I don't use AI art. Don't worry. I also don't agree with AI art.
No, I know you don't. I know you're a good person. But if I see any AI art on this podcast, I'm shutting down my email account.
Oh,
there you go, Joe.
Speaking of which, if you want to talk to us about the show directly and have a direct line to any one of us,
you can do it at shepherdnoah13@gmail.com. 5th season.
Finally.
5th season.
Finally. 5th season. Season 5, baby. Season 5. Noah, since you were so nice to play ball with that one, why don't you tell the people what you're up to?
I am still on air at 590 VOCM here in St. John's and VOCM.com. You can hear me afternoons and evenings, mostly evenings, but some afternoons. So as well as the major primetime news package at 5 o'clock. That is at 590 VOCM on the AM dial in St. John's. A couple different frequencies across the island, and at VOCM.com anywhere else. I also will be doing some theater stuff in May. That's when auditions and stuff will start. But there's still some details being ironed out, so I'll plug that as it gets closer. That's pretty much it.
I'm doing some things. My Instagram is Curvello02, and I usually post about the things I'm doing there.
But not the podcast?
No. I've told people about it now, though.
No.
My close friends are aware of
true.
what it's called now.
Grace, if you're listening, hi.
She's not, I can guarantee you.
Yeah, she probably isn't.
Yeah. That's it.
Maybe if I tell her I gave her a shout out, she'll listen.
No, she won't.
My dad's listening.
You don't want to.
She'll ask me when you did.
Yeah,
I'll
get to
give her
George.
the timestamp.
I'll get to George. Did you want to talk about your band or your radio
Well,
show?
I said I do things, and check out the Instagram for the things. Those are the things.
There you go.
Jamie is just like done with plugging herself.
I'm in a
She's
few
like,
bands.
yeah, I've done this before.
I have a radio show.
It's in the show
I do
notes.
some other things for the radio, and some other things. I'm a busy person. So, that's it.
That was the saddest plug I've ever heard.
Well, I do things. If you're interested in the things, go to the Instagram and check out the things. Yeah.
I'm so glad we all have separate recordings for this because the video is not going to be good. I want to give, of course, a shout out to our biggest and most dedicated fan, George Shepard. Thank you for tuning in, George. We always do appreciate it. And we also do appreciate it when you share the episodes each time and then privately message me telling me how great the episode was. Thank you, because your son will not tell me how great the episode is because he won't listen to them, even though I edit all of them. But that's besides the point. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening. If you want to check out what I'm up to, I'm on Instagram at the one and only JDV with underscores in between. I'm also on Twitter at the one and only JDV. And you can also find me on TikTok at Who Killed the Peacemaker for all of my fun comic stuff. And if you want to find
TikTok
any of
plug.
these things easily and just get there with one click, Noah, where can they all find it?
Hyperlinked down below in the description, or wherever descriptions are on all the platforms we're on.
I know, it's so weird.
I will admit, Joe, I would probably listen to the podcast more if I didn't enjoy Critical Role so much, because I'm trying to get through Campaign 2, and it's so long. I'm like 61 episodes in. Each episode is 4 hours. I've been listening to it for like a year. It's fantastic. Hey guys, go check out Critical Role if you haven't yet.
Stop plugging other podcasts on this podcast.
It's not a podcast. It's a web show that got adapted to a podcast. Go check out Critical Role, everyone. You'll love it. And while you're doing it, if you like Pokemon and D&D, go check out Critical Ditto. Great show. Great show. Has nothing to do with the Critical Role guys, but it's good. And actually, remember that musical I plugged there before, Joe, about...
we are almost 2 hours in and you're plugging other platforms.
All right, I'll stop.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you guys in the next one for some rom-coms. And my one last final tease is that stay tuned for this summer for the first Joe and Noah in-person episode since 2020.
That's right.
It's coming.
Right. Hell yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, it's going to be
Hell
a good time.
yeah.
It's gonna be a good time. Yeah. And also stay tuned for the Oscars, where hopefully Everything Everywhere All at Once will win, and we'll all be happy.
It's not going to happen.
Wow, guys, maybe we're going to have a good year.
Maybe we're going to have a good year.
This is the year for the show. This is the year the show takes off.
This is the year we get 3 patrons.
This is the year
Fuck off.
that my mom finally listens.
Ooh.
Your mom listened to the first one.
I don't think she did. I think she listened to like 30 seconds of it.
Maybe. She likes all of our Facebook posts.
Oh, that's okay.
That's nice of her. I'd say we could tell her that she got a shout out, but she probably wouldn't care.
I don't. She would ask what a shout out is.
Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you guys.